China taking over the silver market. You may have noticed story after story coming out about China and silver. Are they on some sort of secret mission to take over the silver market? And we can't talk about China without touching on India as well. Guys, things are way different right now than they were in 1980 when we hit a $50 in 1980 silver price. We're in a new world and things are changing quickly. Let's dive in and talk about how China very well could be plotting to take over the world's silver market.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ron's Basement, and I hope you enjoy my daddy's show.
China's strategic silver takeover, a calculated move to drain the West, comes to us from the Jerusalem Post. Is China hoarding silver? Prices are 10% higher than in the West. Secret weapon or economic warfare? Hidden war for economic dominance. While the world has been focused on geopolitical tensions between China and the West, there's a more subtle battle going on in the global financial markets. China, through a series of calculated moves, has been quietly accumulating vast quantities of gold and silver. What a great opportunity for me to share with you that if you want to accumulate vast quantities of gold and silver, do it at the best price possible. And I know you'll find that at channel sponsor Pimbex. I've worked with them personally for over 1 year. You always get the best prices, best selection, and service. Pimbex, Pimbex.com. This move has signaled a potential shift in the global economic landscape and highlights the developing countries' need for exorbitant amounts of resources. As we move on to the secret weapon. So they've been hoarding gold, we know that, but they've also been strategically increasing their silver reserves. The Shanghai Metals Exchange has seen a significant surge in trading volume, with prices consistently higher than those on Western exchanges. Volume leads price. The more volume, the more number of kilograms of silver that are traded in Shanghai, the higher the price has been going, and both have been going up, suggesting that China may be deliberately driving up the price of silver to drain the West's resources. We hear that all the time, even recent speculation that a lot of the silver that's being sold in the West by Western investors could potentially be melted down and shipped where? To our friends in China. China reportedly has a silver reserve of 71,000 metric tons of silver, second only to Peru, who is the world's silver producing powerhouse. We see here, as we check on a regular basis, that on the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Futures Exchange, the price of silver is consistently 10% or more higher. Implications for the West. A rising price of silver could have significant implications for Western economies because we're basically going to be hard up for silver as China, and we're going to talk about India also, are sucking in all of the world's silver. This only leads to a situation that can be fixed by higher prices. The growing demand for silver. Bloomberg, a recent article, claimed they're producing more solar panels than can be put to use. This is funny. Bloomberg reported in May that China's silver imports reached a 3-year high of 390 tons. The monthly 5-year average was 310 tons. Reports have shown China has produced so many solar panels that some Chinese citizens have put them to use as garden fences. About 80% of all panels made in the world originate from China. In regards to their importing appetite, silver imports are notably increasing under President Xi. Most recently have spiked in June and July, with both months surpassing net imports of more than 400 tons. Last year at this time, the net importing of silver into China did not surpass 200 tons. India's growing demand. India has also been a major buyer of silver, importing significant quantities from the West in recent years. We're going to touch on that more in 1 second. India's recent decision to reduce its import duty on silver will further increase its demand for the metal. Potential for a silver squeeze. Analysts warn that the growing demand for silver, coupled with limited supply, could lead to a silver squeeze similar to the silver squeeze of 1980, except it could even be crazier now because we've got 35 times more debt in the United States. In 1980, another important factor to remember is that China and India's economies were a small fraction of what they are today. And if investors begin to panic and rush to buy silver, the price could skyrocket, causing significant disruptions to the global economy. Back to our friends in India, the precious metals capital of the world. This year, it's estimated that they will import over 200 million ounces of silver. Some people even saying as high as 250 million ounces of silver. Bear in mind that the total mine output of silver in the world on an annual basis is about 800 million ounces. That means at minimum, we should see India alone import almost 25% of the world's silver. While at the same time, we know the world's biggest silver producer, Mexico, is decreasing output of silver. That's been going on for the last 2 years straight. And there's strong speculation that Chinese companies, Chinese refiners are now developing direct relationships with silver mines in Mexico to bypass the traditional Western COMEX and LBMA and acquire silver ore, acquire silver doré directly from the Mexican miners. China and India have massive populations, 1.4 billion people each. That's like 3 times the amount of the United States. And we know, for instance, in China, reports from the ground that the government is encouraging their citizens to invest directly into silver. I think it's safe to say that it feels like there's a strategy on behalf of the Chinese and their friends, the Indians, to take over the world silver supply. They know how critical silver will be in the coming decades, and they're getting a step ahead of the game right now. But likely you are as well. I know that I am. Thanks for being here. Thanks to channel sponsors, Pimbex, First Mining Gold, and Fortuna Mining, all of which you can learn more about by clicking on their websites. That'll be in the description of this video. Have a great day. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon here in the basement.